What's happening? I hope you guys can hear me now. It always helps when you press the start the broadcast button. You know, what are you going to do? But anyhow, really psyched, guys. Glad that you're all joining me. Let me just get things all ready here so I can see everybody's comments. All right, man. Can you guys see me or what? Let's see what's happening here. Somebody say something on my chat so I can get going. Very cool. All right, let's see. Let's see if we do this. Check one, check two. I guess it's working. All right. All right, guys, what's going on? It's good to see you. Welcome to my little broadcast. We're going to try this out and make sure everything's working right now. You're going to have to forgive me with the little technical difficulties, but you know what? That is just the way things go. Good deal. Let's look and see some of the questions here. Good, you guys can see me? Excellent. Bearded Turtle Man. Thank you, Garrick. That's me. So I thought I'd do this live video, hang out with you guys for a little while because we get so many questions and I thought it'd be a cool way to answer them live when you guys ask them. So we're in my little studio, we're hanging out. It's kind of a rainy day. Hopefully the power doesn't go out on us. But yeah, that's what we're up to right now. And I have a few animals with me that we'll talk about to kick things off. But guys, if you have a question that you want answered, just go ahead and fire it out. When I look down, I'm going to take a look at it. I'll give you guys some shout outs. But I'd like this to become a semi-regular thing. We'd like to do it once a week. This way we can stay engaged with each other. And if you have concern about an animal you might have, I can hopefully help you out or at least point you in the right direction. So I'm going to step over here and I'm going to grab out the first little buddy that I brought and tell you little stories about them. So right now, we're starting things off with my little Hog Island Boa. Now, the cool thing about these guys is that they don't get really large. And here's another fun thing that we can do also. Let's see this. We can actually switch the camera setting. Let's try this out right now and see if I can get you guys up in a close-up. And I guess I can. Very cool. So this is the Hog Island Boa, and I was able to get a male and female from the Bronx Zoo, which is really cool. It's kind of an honor that to be trusting enough to send me some animals that they needed a home for. So this is a beautiful Hog Island Boa. Very cool. Michael Roach knows what he's looking at. Good man. And I thought I saw somebody ask me what my first turtle was. It was a red-eared slider turtle when I was 6 years old, man. So that's the first turtle I ever had. My dad got it for me, and I had that turtle till I was about 13. And the turtle didn't die. Unfortunately, I wasn't good at building enclosures back then. And one summer in Eastern Long Island, the dude snuck off on me. He's probably still fine. Nick at Night's asking how this Hog Island's temperament is. As you can see, this guy's pretty cool, don't you think? I mean, he's just hanging out with me right now. However, when in the enclosure, you know, whenever you open the enclosure door, I feed one snake in a bin and one snake in the enclosure so they don't scuffle over the same food. See this? I think he's actually wanting to strike my finger here. But their temperament's pretty good. And it's all how you handle them and raise them. So it's pretty cool, man. So I like them. Cody Baldoff is asking if I have any Razorback muds. No, I just have some 3-striped mud turtles that hang out in my pond. So yeah, that's it. JB3626, have I ever kept a poisonous snake? Number one, I'm just going to help you out here, buddy. There's no such thing as a poisonous snake. Snakes are venomous. And venom is something that is delivered through a specialized organ, like fangs or a stinger. So bees are venomous, scorpions are venomous, but snakes are not poisonous. They're venomous because they have fangs that deliver the poison, right? And it deliver the toxin, excuse me. And if something is poisonous, it's a passive delivery system, which means you have to eat it or rub against it, like a poison arrow frog, which they rub their little darts on, or poison ivy, which you rub against. So there you go. Cool, man. My favorite breed of turtle. Caitlin Wade is asking me what my favorite breed of turtle is. Man, it's like trying to figure out like who my favorite relative is. That's not an easy thing to do. I would say here at the camp, my favorite tortoise is Nostradamus. I love that tortoise. He's just really, really cool. So this is the Hog Island Boa. Really cool snake. They don't get too massive, but they are indeed a red tail. They're just what you would call a natural hypomelanistic morph, a naturally occurring morph that doesn't have really bright, vibrant colors. They're kind of muted in their coloration, and they stay a bit smaller. They're an insular species. They're just off the coast of Central America in the Hog Islands there. But a pretty snake. So I'm going to put him away, and I'm going to take some of your questions, guys. Give me 1 second here. I really am having fun with this, man. This is kind of cool. We're doing really good with this. I think this next snake you guys will dig because I haven't been showing too many of them. They also came to me from, this snake also came to me from the Bronx Zoo, and I got a pair. This is, I don't know, is anybody out there? Can anyone tell me what this is? We'll go back to the close-up, okay? Hold on. Let's go back to the close-up. I'm going to switch cameras, go right to my FaceTime camera, Apple. Check this snake out, man. I love this snake right now. I'm just dying for this thing. This is, does anyone know what it is? Let me see if anyone's out there. Enrique, thank you. I'm a big fan of you, buddy. Thanks so much for joining us. Very cool. Cleozora, how many tortoises do I have? Cleozora. I've got about, here at the camp, I've got about 140 turtles and tortoises. You know, I just try and keep things simple. Believe it or not, that's not too many for me to handle. A lot of them are in the pond. But look at the beauty of the Timor Python. And the funny thing is this python isn't even really from Timor, but they call it a Timor Python. They're found in Indonesia, and they're really beautiful snake. And I was so excited when the Bronx Zoo definitely told me that I would be able to get a pair of these. They're a snake that I just think is really, really beautiful. They are semi-arboreal. They don't really have a prehensile tail, but they're actually in the same genus as the reticulated python, which is pretty cool. They're pretty much a reticulated python that does not get huge. You're talking about 7 foot, but they have such a beautiful, beautiful coloration. And I'm really digging these guys because I set up a little habitat for them, and they're pretty active snakes. They're active at night, very, very good feeders. Really enjoying learning about this animal here, and I wanted to share it on this little live broadcast because I figured it'd be a good way to kind of intro them. And remember, guys, I'm also doing videos all the time on Instagram. What's he gonna do? You might even see me get nailed in the face by a snake today live, which would be fun. I think he likes my hat. Anyway, I'm also on Instagram at Kamp Kenan and on Facebook at Kamp Kenan, and I'm always doing videos. There's all kinds of random content that comes up during the day, and I'm hoping you guys will join me. Oh, we lost the mic pack here. Let me stick this back in my pocket. Oh no, there's some technical difficulties. All right, I'm back, everybody. Let's take a look at some of these questions, okay? Let's see, when did I get my first sulcata? I got my first sulcata when I got my first house right back in 2002, believe it or not, so not too terribly long ago. That tortoise is currently out back, and it's a male, and it's doing very well, and it's now over 100 pounds. So I got that animal in 2002. All right, any tips for making outdoor snake enclosures? And that's Nick at Night. Yeah, listen, you know, guys, you've probably watched the videos. I'm not really a fan of keeping thousands of snakes, so I don't have the need for rack systems or you know, sterilite tubs other than to soak the snake or to feed the snake. I really enjoy snakes as it pertains to their natural behavior. Look at this. As it pertains, let's get back on the wide shot. As it pertains to their natural behavior. And so, you know, look, guys, I'm lucky, man. I live down here in Florida, and it's easy for me to do things outdoors with these guys. And so basically what I do is, you know, you want to first know the species you're working with, and you want to make sure that you do the best possible job you can do to replicate the animal's natural environment. So if it's a semi-arboreal tropical snake, South Florida, being that it's subtropical, very hot in the summertime, is pretty good. I don't want him to bite my lip. He'll pierce my lip. Very cool, man. But that's what I would suggest, you know. Just basically do your research. And then as far as outdoor snake enclosures, you want to use materials that are going to be safe for the snake. I use a 1 by 1/2 inch vinyl coated, it's a PVC coated wire mesh. This cuts down on the animal rubbing its nose because sometimes snakes, if they're not kept in a proper habitat can rub their nose, and that wire stuff is just like a cheese grater. I would advise against it. The other thing you want to do with your snakes outdoors to keep them from rubbing and so on, make sure they're happy. Make sure they have a nice hide area, and make sure they're fed on a nice schedule so that when the snake starts to get hungry, it's not just endlessly trying to get out of this enclosure, rubbing its head. Let's take a look, guys. I'm going to look at some more questions, okay? Do I sell, whoa, hello, man. You slipping? Don't be slipping, homie. Do I sell Herman's tortoises? Yes, but I do not have any available. I do, however, let's switch. Let's say goodbye to this guy right now as I walk back over here, because that brings up a good point, man. I don't have any Herman tortoise available, but I do have some cool Greek tortoise, and I did pull a baby Greek tortoise out here so you guys can check it out. So let me walk up to the camera. No, actually, this is better, because if I do this, then we can still see your questions. So we'll go back here to FaceTime camera, switch it up, and this is a baby Greek tortoise. These guys look almost identical, don't they, to baby Herman's tortoise? But this is a baby Greek. This guy hatched 2 months ago. And I love the Greek tortoise, I love the Hermans, and I love the marginated tortoise. Really, really cool animals. They don't get big. For those of you that may live somewhere where it gets cold, this would be the tortoise that I talk about. And you know, you're going to find these animals between $175 to $250 on the high end. You know, I sell mine for $200. I've got 3 left, but I love them. I'm raising these little guys up. They're doing so good, man. Really, really cool animal. Let's see, you guys having fun out there? I live on the south coast of England and what do you have? Let me see, man. I have to see this. Oh, you have 2 Herman's tortoise, and they're kept outside, but it's starting to get chilly. What temperature would you bring the tortoise inside? Cheers. And that is persilic. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. What would I do? I bring, you know, I don't know much about, I know the south coast of England is very wet and chilly, but it doesn't actually freeze too often, if I'm correct. I have been there, but many years ago. I would always suggest, since you're dealing with a European species that is a little bit cold tolerant, however, they're not really moisture tolerant because they come from a Mediterranean climate, and you have a maritime climate there in southern England. I would pull them in when the temperatures get into the low 60s. And I would say that, guys, for any Mediterranean or dry climate tortoise, you're going to want to pull them in when the temperatures drop, and most certainly when those temperatures get in the 60s and you start getting rain. That can be lethal to little tortoises like this, to any arid species, because you can get them to develop a cold. Quite simply, it's an upper respiratory infection. So you want to keep them definitely dry. Dry and cool is okay, but wet and cold is definitely not good at all. So be mindful of that. So I'd pull them in when they get into the 60s, bud. Let's see, Hexilla Supsky. Yeah, I sell redfoots. I have some eggs in the incubator over here, and they're cooking right now. The first animal I ever had was that red-eared slider. Let's see, yeah, Anzin Mizzi, I think. It says it's a Greek tortoise. You're correct. Let's see. The 57, do I miss Harambe? Yeah, man, it's a sad story what happened to Harambe. There you go. Can you give a shout out to Jake and Parker? They got up, hold on a second. Where did these guys get up from? They got up to the big screen, loving this. All right, what's up, Jake and Parker? I hope it isn't too much of this. Here, how's that, guys? All right, good deal, man. Jesse Waddle, have I ever owned a bearded dragon? I took care of a bearded dragon. I'm not a bearded dragon expert, but I can keep them alive and happy. I don't know much about the morphs and so on, but when I went to Australia in 2014, I was with the Critter Cam guys, and we saw really cool stuff in Australia. We saw the eastern bearded dragons, which get extremely large. And it's so funny, guys, how I see maybe anoles, and sometimes we see green iguanas here in Florida. That's how you see the eastern bearded dragons. Really beautiful, sitting on fence posts, just hanging out. Australia is just a great place. I love visiting there. Okay, let's see. What else do we got? Leprechaun Gaming, there's your shout out, buddy. Let's see. I want to find a good story. Do snapping turtles make good pets? That's actually a good question. Does snapping turtle? It's going so fast, guys. I don't really know who said that, but do snapping turtles make good pets? It depends. A couple times, a couple things actually. Snapping turtles are, you know, obviously they get big. All right, we're talking about your common snappers and your alligator snappers. Hey, wait a minute, hold on one second. What am I thinking? Guys, just chill out here for a second. Let's see, I'm gonna switch this camera again. I hope you guys don't mind, you know, dealing with my primitive camera switch stuff here. But talking about snapping turtles, right? So let me just walk out of frame here real quick, like this. And gosh, I guess what I'll do is just kind of talk about snapping turtles while holding an alligator snapping turtle. This turtle, believe it or not, I just got today from the Bush Wildlife Sanctuary. And this turtle right here, someone owned and they just didn't want it anymore and they dropped it off. And there's a rule here in Florida, you can only possess one alligator snapper per adult per household. Oh, there's that big, there it is. Look at that, everybody. So we'll get nice and close. This is a little one, by the way. So do they make good pets? Well, look, at this size, this guy could hurt you pretty good. I would not recommend, whoa, he's biting me. This is a female and she's kind of nuts. And unfortunately, let me just keep her head over here because sometimes these guys will actually bite their legs, their knuckleheads, but she's just a little nervous. So anyway, if you have the space and you feed them the proper foods, yes, I do think they are cool pets. I mean, this is a prehistoric animal. I prefer to see these animals kept in situations where they're in their home range. If you can do an outdoor tub or enclosure or maybe even a natural pond, that's always the best way. But I have a common snapping turtle named Fat Clyde that I've had since 1998, hatched him out. I'll never forget it. I was living at Woodward. I was living at Woodward Camp, and we're gonna go over here. Let's do this. Let's just get you a close up. I was living at Woodward Camp, found a mom crossing the road, and I put her in the pond at camp, and she came out and laid eggs. And so I had that baby. I hatched the baby out, and I've had him, and he's in my pond to this day, doing really well. And for a long time, he would eat right out of a jug. He'd walk right out of the pond and just eat. But anyhow, for those of you interested or maybe not familiar with the alligator snapper, you see the worm tongue, and then you see right there the hole, that's his trachea, and then the white is his glottis. And so he can seal that up when he goes underwater, or rather she can. She's wiggling for you. I hope you guys are enjoying this, man. This is kind of fun. It's kind of fun way to interact with you. Let's look now. Kenan, are you going to breed your carpet pythons or just keep them as pets? I don't know who asked that because I can't see. But yeah, you know, if I breed them, I'm going to be happy about it. You know, I'm just kind of letting nature take its course outside. If I do see some, you know, her lay the eggs and nest them, I'll incubate them and breed them, and then be able to offer up some really nice, healthy babies for sale. So of course, but this is just a beautiful, I love snappers. I'll never get tired of snapping turtles because they really are primitive armored animals, and they are fascinating to me. And as some of you know, the alligator snapper, if this female here, she's only going to get to be about 65 or 70 pounds, which is still pretty darn big. But the males can reach just incredible sizes. 200 pounds is not uncommon in the past to see massive gator snappers like that. Unfortunately, as you guys know, a lot of these animals get fished out when they're at that size. And when we remove those big males and those big females, you're removing animals that have been in the ecosystem for some cases hundreds of years, 100 years at least. So it's important that we leave these animals alone. So always remember to get a captive bred animal. Now, I don't sell gator snappers. You can't sell them here in the state of Florida, but I can help out the sanctuary and keep one. So there it is. Isn't that cool, guys? All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to put him back, or her. I keep calling him a her. But while I do that, I'm going to switch us over. Let's go, man. Back to the wide shot. Bam! All right, we're going to put this young lady back in. Oh, she wants to bite him. Oh, my God, she's biting my iguana statue. So berserk. Let's go and check out a few more turtles, and then I'll keep answering questions here. Let's see. Let's answer a few questions, man. Stay there. All right, man. Well, thanks so much, the Glitter Pixie. I appreciate you guys watching all the way from the UK, man. I hope to get over there soon. What we'd like to go to Ireland too. I know that's not the UK, but that's my ancestral homeland. But there's no snakes in Ireland, so that's kind of depressing. Let's see. Have I seen the snappers of prehistoric pets? Yeah, and you know what, guys? We got some crazy. My buddy Fred's got some big gator snappers at his house right here in Florida. Let's see. What's the best reptile for a beginner? Hey, listen, man, I'm partial to tortoises. Let's show you some of the tortoises I brought out here. I got some really cool ones. We'll start with this little dude. I don't know if you guys can see it all the way from here, but what I'll do, as you know, is I'll swap the camera. Oh, we got Sweden on the line. Hello back, Sweden. Good to see you. Got reptile lovers in Sweden. That's awesome, man. Let's do FaceTime. Save it there. All right, so what you're looking at is a little baby radiated tortoise. Isn't that cute? Now this guy's a little funny, man. He's not growing too quickly, and that's why I'm not gonna, you know, offer this one for sale, because I don't know what's happening. He's good. He moves around. He eats, but he's not growing too fast. So I just want to keep an eye on him. Okay. Let's see. Hey, man, I just brought some snakes out, Ava Lopez, but I'll bring some out before too long. No worries. What's up, George the Beast from Mexico, man? ¿Cómo está? If you don't get snakes in Ireland, you may well get massive, what's that? Massive house. Oh, God, you guys are massive house spiders. Okay, spiders are fun. That's good. Why am I partial to tortoises? Aaron Zhang. Good question, man. You know, I'll tell you why. Why I love tortoises. I don't know if you guys know this, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm a bit of a spaz. I'm kind of ADD. I'm hyper. I'm energetic. The tortoises are very chilled out and cool and zen-like, and they actually bring me a lot of peace, man. I like to watch them moving around the property and grazing and so on. And ever since I was a little kid, it's always been turtles and tortoises, and I just really like their faces. Isn't that cool? The way they blink their eyes. They, you know, we have a really fun t-shirt that's coming out soon. We just got, you know, our Kamp Kenan shirts. We have another one coming out called Born Ancient. And I just love the way that these animals, from the minute they crack out of the egg, they have a wise look. So that's it, man. That's it in a nutshell. I just think they're nature's wise little dudes right from the get-go. Let's see, man. Hey, Matthew, man, no need to envy anything I'm doing. You can do this too. I started out in Long Island, New York, just like all you guys, couple little fish tanks, and, you know, just without sounding like a public service announcement, all you got to do is continue to study, read as many books as you can, try and befriend people who know more than you. Don't be afraid to ask questions, which is why I'm so glad you guys are asking questions here today. And try and surround yourself with people that know more, that want to share information, because it's so important, man. So many guys get a little bit of information and they like to hoard it or make themselves sound smarter and make fun of people for asking questions. And that's not what I'm all about. I enjoy learning. I'm still learning. I don't know everything, but if you guys have questions, just go for it and, you know, ask away. No stupid questions with me. All right, cool. So where are we at? Let's see. Whoa, what's going on? Ganta Permandi. I'm hearing you, brother. Thank you. Nice to say hello. And he comes all the way from Indonesia. Thanks for watching. Brownsville, Texas. Hector Flores. All right, brother. I've been to Brownsville. I've been to South Padre Island for a BMX contest way back in 1996. So very cool. And hopefully I can get out to see the Gladys Porter Zoo, which is also in Brownsville, Texas, and do a Kamp Kenan episode with my good friend Colette Adams. Let's see, do I have kids? And if so, do they enjoy my love for reptiles, specifically tortoises? Well, I do have a child. It's my girlfriend's daughter. Her name's Alex, and she could be coming home at any second now. She's a good kid. They're not 100% like geeked out like I am, but they love the animals, and she helps me out from time to time, and that's cool. You know, they love animals. They would never hurt them, but I don't think they're as excited about reptiles as you and I are. I mean, we obviously have serious love for these animals. Cool, man. Let's see. All right, Nate Chapman wants to see more videos on redfoot tortoises. No worries. I actually just shot a bonus video that might go up this week where all the redfoots were out eating in the rain. So that's a cool one. Let's see. Can I put a sulcata with a leopard tortoise to get some hybrid tortoises, or will it be a disease? Will it be a disease? Disease. All right. So let me answer this question, because I get this question a ton. Can I put my sulcata with a Greek, or my sulcata with a leopard, or my sulcata with a redfoot? And what I suggest is not doing that. I would suggest keeping the species separate. And if you can't keep them separate, only put species that are going to grow to be about the same size and require the same food and habitat together. So for example, I wouldn't take a sulcata and put it with a redfoot, because the sulcata, number one, is from Africa. The redfoot's from South America. And number two, they eat different things. The redfoot's going to eat more fruit content, and the redfoot likes it more humid. And the sulcata is going to get really big, so it could injure the other one. But like if I had a Hermann's tortoise and a Greek tortoise, you know, you could put them together. You would probably get some hybrids. But here's the thing, guys. There have been leopard sulcata hybrids, okay? Now, those two do require similar habitats. They're both from Africa. But there have been hybrids in the pet trade. But you know what, guys? It's always best to keep the animals pure by species. You know, hybrid animals cannot reproduce themselves, and that means that nature does not want that to occur. So that's basically it. But I mean, you know, would I not like a hybrid tortoise if someone gave it to me, or if I had to take care of it? No, not at all. So there you have it. You want to see another tortoise, guys? We'll pull out another one, and then maybe I'll pull back out another snake or something. But I wanted to show you. Oh boy, he's motoring around. We're going to pull out a very special juvenile here. All right. So this is a cherry head, but this is not just any cherry head. This is actually one of Darth Maul's and the Hypo Redfoot's babies. And this is a really cool animal. Look at that pretty head. I mean, is that not a beautiful red head? Just like the mama. So this is the cherry head tortoise that myself and John Heidecker, combined our animals on. And it's a really beautiful animal. And so I'm pretty excited to see how they continue to grow. Real pretty. Yes, Sophia Himko asks, where can you get a tortoise for me? It's very simple. You just need to email me at kampkenan@gmail.com, and we will be able to, just email me your address. And right now, I don't have a lot available. I have eggs being laid. We are done with sulcatas for the season. I have a few Greeks, and that's about it right now. But I do have redfoots incubating, cherry heads incubating. So that's cool. You can always email me at kampkenan@gmail.com with your address, and I'll get you a shipping quote. Most of the time, shipping out west is about $65. Shipping up to the northern states is usually around $55, $60, and that's next day service via Ship Your Reptiles. What's the best tortoise on Long Island? Well, there are no tortoises on Long Island, but if you're asking what's the best tortoise to get for Long Island, I would recommend the Greek Hermann's, the elongated tortoise, or a marginated tortoise, because you can put them out in your backyard in the summer and they're easy to keep in the winter. Yeah, Sophia Himko, we're going to do this again. Guys, we're going to do this. We're going to try and do this every Thursday. I'm going to try and get to all these, and I'll try and have some other animals. You know, at the end of the day, we're going to be coming from the studio. So basically, coming from the studio means I'm limited as to what I can bring in. But we'll try and do a few different animals. And at the end of the day, we might cycle through all the animals if we do this 52 times a year, you know. What was the first steps to starting my conservation camp, and how long did it take me? Ashley Hodge, great question. A lot of people ask me that question. What I would say to you is the first steps is simply loving animals. The first steps is reading as much as you can. We're going back now, when I was like 5 or 6, I just loved dinosaurs, loved Godzilla movies. So my mom got me books on dinosaurs. Those led me to books on reptiles. Going to the zoos. I think zoos are an important part of educating people. I would always go to the Bronx Zoo as a kid. That's why I'm so psyched that I'm able to do stuff with the Bronx Zoo today. You do that and, see where your passion leads you. I mean, my passions were bicycles and animals. And for a while, even though I always loved animals, the bike was just something that really brought me all over the world. and opened up a lot of doors for me. But during that time, I just moved to Florida. I knew, look, if I want to do this for real, I got to go down to Florida so the animals are in the best possible environment in the United States for me to keep them outdoors. So I did that. And slowly over the last 13 years of living in Florida, you build slow. You know, I mean, it's just that, making sure you ask the right questions and link up with the right people. Because as you know, there's a lot of people out there that really they might sell animals, but they're not exactly people that like animals. Try and volunteer at the zoos. That's important. I think that's something that helps out. I volunteered at the Bush Wildlife Sanctuary, and, you know, combining all the talents that you may have. I'm kind of a talker. I was fortunate enough to have a career in television. I met my partner, Tom, who does Kamp Kenan with me. We combined our forces and we just started doing it. There's really no other way to do it except, oh, wow, look at this, guys. You want more snakes? Good thing I'm paying attention. I got a snake slithering out of the Rubbermaid here. It's my Timor Python. Let's get him back on the screen here. And we'll go ahead and do some more chatting with you before I wrap things up here. Man, we're having fun. Has this already been a half an hour? I can't believe it. It's 4:31. I'll stick around for a little while longer and try and answer a few more questions, okay? So I hope you don't mind me kneeling down here. I need to be able to see everything. All right, let's see. Really quick, Megan makes memories. I have some leopard tortoises incubating right now. I sell them for $150 plus shipping. Will I ever come to the Tinley Park? And yeah, I've been to Tinley, man. I went to the one in the spring a few years back. I'm not planning this season because we have some really cool stuff going on down here that we're focusing on. But yeah, this is a beautiful snake. Who said that? Ava Lopez. Yes, it is. The rescue iguana is doing good. It's living at a buddy's house right now because he's able to completely care for that animal. We did the update in that video. So he remains, he doesn't want his name spoken because he doesn't like having a bunch of people email him, I guess. But anyway, the iguana is doing good, and I'm so glad that all worked out. And I know a lot of people were upset that I didn't cut the ropes quick enough. But when working with an animal that is in stress, you have to do it the right way. I mean, we went right in, cut the ropes, had to assess the situation. What if I cut the ropes immediately and the animal starts freaking out and runs away? You have to be smart. And I know that particular episode really bothered some people. And I'm sorry it bothered you, but the good news is the animal's alive. We did a good deed, and you know, there you go. So let's switch back, and you guys can just see him playing around, and I'll answer a few more questions. And right on, man. Hey, I think this is kind of fun. Are you guys having fun with this live? Is this something you guys would want to do more? Because let us know in the comments. We're going to read them even after this live video is over. Am I going back to Kyle's place soon? I was there yesterday, bud. Kyle and I are good buddies. He lives 3 miles from me, and you know, that's what we do with Kyle. He's always around. Let's see. Do I breed Russian tortoises? I do not keep Russian tortoises. It's too wet down here. You guys are moving so quick. It is incredible for me to try and do that. How is Darwin doing? The Wild Cobra asks. Darwin is a sweetheart. I was hanging out with Darwin earlier, and she's doing really, really well. How do you grow a cactus from a cutting? Very simple, man. Take that cactus, put it in the ground or put it in a pot, well-drained, sandy soil, and water it in full sunlight. And it, you know, I have no problem growing them. Let's see. Oh yeah. Nick and Knight asks again, man, Nick and Knight, you're lucky. You got 2 questions answered there, bud. Yes, I do have more interests in Australian pythons. I love blackhead pythons. And I love all the Morelia. I just think they are fantastic. I like snakes that are semi-arboreal because to me they're interesting to watch. Not that the blackhead python is an arboreal or semi-arboreal snake. I just think that thing looks amazing. Yes, Matt R., we will do this again for sure. Glad you guys are digging it. Hey, share it, man. Tell your friends. We can do this. If you have some reptile questions, hey, if I don't even know the question, I might be able to get on the horn and find out an answer right away. There's nothing wrong with not knowing everything. That's what keeps it very interesting for me. You're always learning something new when you're talking about animals. Let's see. All right, I'll bring the Aussie pythons next time, guys, for sure. Good tortoise to keep in Colorado. Colorado, cool but dry. I'd again go with the Herman's tortoise, or a Russian tortoise would be a great tortoise because they can hibernate. Maybe not through the entire winter there, but I know that in Colorado, I've spent a lot of time in Denver, and up in Denver, you know, you'll have some cold days, but then it warms up again into the 70s, even in February. So that's pretty cool. Hi, Ozzy. How you doing, buddy? All right, another question. It was a good question. It just went by. How big should a Greek tortoise be? I think Svetlana Harbaugh is asking me, how big should it be before you put it outside? Before you put it outside, you're going to want to make sure that it's about that big that crows and or you know, I don't know if you got hawks where you're from, but birds of prey and raccoons can't get at them. No predators. So there you go. Hey guys, yes, shirts, man. Question about shirts. Shirts are here. We will be going live on the store very soon, so you can check out kampkenan.com in the next week. We should have it all sorted, and we have these little shirts, just a little Kamp Kenan shirt, plus another one coming out soon. I'm pretty excited about that. You know, I've never had my own shirt before, so, you know, hey, this is pretty fun. So yeah, we've got different colors and different stuff, you know, basically different colors. They're a good quality shirt, and there you go. They're going to be $20 plus shipping, but that will be next week. I apologize for the delay, but yeah, that's what we're up to. Let's see, man. I don't want to just go off yet. Let's see. Is it difficult to take care of a Cuban iguana? Jesse Waddle asks, is it difficult to take care of a Cuban iguana? Well, it's not an animal that's going to be easy if you live up north, because they get fairly large, and you got to make sure you have fresh veggies and so on for them. Plus they're UVB light. But down here in Florida, they tame up so well. I love Cuban iguanas. So if you have access to a large enclosure, then yes, they can be easy. But you're going to have to work with your animals. You know, here's the thing. People think I have a lot of animals, but I really don't. I spend a lot of time with all of my animals. I'm always walking around, keeping an eye on them, seeing how they're behaving. Less is more. I would always recommend, guys, it's so easy to get overexcited and want to have every type of reptile. But it's way more fun if you guys actually just pick a few species and focus on them and do that well. And now you're helping the species. Now, if you get good at it, you can captive reproduce them. And I think that's the way to go, rather than just see how many you can collect. They're not baseball cards, you know. Do kids even do it? They're not Pokemon. No, the kids don't do that either. Man, I'm old, let me tell you. They're not toys to collect. They're living things, and you got to make sure that you do the best thing for them. And that's what I'm always trying to go on and on about. And I've gone on and on for a long time. Let's see. Do I have any pure Brazilian cherry heads available right now? Calvin Cheng. No, I do not. Hey, he's giving me kisses. I love crested geckos, David Barker. My friend Emily Maple, she does Emily's geckos. She does a good job with the crested geckos. I like them. I love all reptiles. But like I just said, it's important for me to work with animals that really interest me and that I'm very passionate about keeping. And I've always just, you know, I have a few snake species I want to work with, few lizard species, and a few tortoise species. I mean, I obviously have a problem with tortoises. All right, let's see, man. What else? Do I have spotted turtles? I have in the past had spotted turtles. We have a cool episode of Kamp Kenan coming out where we went looking for spotted turtles in New Jersey. So keep an eye out for that episode in the coming weeks. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff with Kamp Kenan coming up soon, guys. I just want to say thank you. You know, we've been doing really well. We're still a small channel, but I really appreciate you guys, you know, getting passionate about it, enjoying the education. And I want to let you know, we're doing these things like t-shirts to help fund trips that we can go across the sea. We want to go take our adventures overseas so we can meet some of our friends in India and possibly Costa Rica. Anywhere there are really cool reptiles and people doing work with reptiles, that we can bring them to you. So the shirts are a way to help us expand and grow and get out there and make more shows. So thank you guys in advance for all your help watching. And if you're interested in a shirt, thank you for purchasing a shirt. So that's it, guys. I think we've done good, man. I think we had Gosh, we've gone 40 minutes. I was only supposed to go for about a half an hour. So I want to try and keep these at a half an hour. I think, you know, come back next week. If I didn't get to your question, I'm really, really sorry. If I got to your question twice, it was not because that was on purpose. It's because you should see how fast the comments are flying. Anyhow, thank you so very much. Don't forget, every Tuesday, new episode of Kamp Kenan. Sunday nights are going to be bonus video night right before you go back to school. Give you a little treat to help you through that work week. And what else do we got going on? Oh, yeah, more live videos. Thursdays when I am around, okay? And not doing some work abroad because I have to also do some work to keep this camp going. All right, everybody, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll take a look at these comments and try and answer some, but there's a lot of comments on here. All right, guys, we'll see you soon. Thanks so much. I'm going to press stop broadcast. It's sad. I hate to say goodbye, man. But we'll have more animals next week, and we'll talk again. Thanks, guys. See you later.